Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making one of my favorite legendaries from the Pokemon series, none other than the one and only Ogerpon from the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, the Teal Mask. Ogerpon is a little hooded creature based on, you guessed it, a Japanese version of an ogre, also called an Oni. I chose this Pokemon to make into a custom because I really love the colors of her and her story as well. Spoilers for the Teal Mask DLC story ahead. If you want to skip over and go straight to the custom, it'll be here. Okay, all the spoiler stuff starts right now.
A man and ogerpon traveled into a city where they were feared for their looks. A mask maker pitied the man and ogre, so he made masks to hide their faces. This worked and people during the festival adored the masks. But this also drives in the loyal three, Monkadori, Fezandipiti, and Okadoji. They essentially robbed and murdered the man, leaving only one mask. Ogerpon found this out when she got home and saw signs of the struggle. She went out and killed the loyal three, but the people were in fear due to a random masked stranger beating up Pokemon for an unknown reason.
So yeah, Pokemon is a kid's game, but in all seriousness, let's get on to this customs plan, because I am really proud of how it turned out. The warrior I'm using for today's custom is Vampchamp, a Series 7 Ninja Fury Shatter Strike warrior. The main focus of this build is going to be the head, not only because I don't want to repeat the girlfriend warrior incident, I cut the neck off, but also because of the mask I'm going to be implementing into the warrior. What, you didn't think I was going to make Ogerpon and not implement her own gimmick, did you? Well, anyways, these masks are going to be implemented with magnets, and not only am I going to be making the main 4 masks, but I'm also going to be making 4 of my own custom masks, so stick around for that. But I'm going to save those till the end since I want to talk about our main star of the show, Ogerpon herself. I'm going to be making her droopy sleeves and hood out of clay, another reason why the head is important. I'll also be making Ogerpon's feet out of clay. And I think that's about everything, so let's get into this custom. So, as I said, I'm going to be starting by molding Ogerpon's feet, which requires the base plate to be cut off. But before I do anything with Vampchamp, I'm going to change the weapon, which in my opinion doesn't look too ogre-y. So I'll wrap some wire around the base weapon and then put some clay on so that it looks more like a club. Ogerpon's IV cudgel has 3 sections on it, a top, a middle, and bottom, though I don't put spikes on the bottom due to it looking too cluttered. After that, I'll start making the spikes for this weapon, which is apparently based off a Kanabo? Whatever. These spikes will be taken off later due to me needing to grind down the club to make room for the mask, but I will remake them, so... Once the cudgel is done, I'll move on to Ogerpon herself. I started by grinding one of the wing thingies on Vampchamp down, despite the fact that I left the other one because it would help with the sleeves basing. Speaking of the sleeves, I started them on both sides and cut off the ears of Vamp Champ. I'll be coming back to the sleeves, but for now, I test fitted the weapon and moved on to the hood. I usually go by the motto, do as much as you can in one sitting or you're going to forget what you need to do later and it's going to cause a giant panic attack. This strategy usually results in a bunch of work getting done, but then noticing mistakes later off camera that I try to fix, also off camera. But today it decided to be a good strategy as I decided to go ahead and get the hood on before fully doing the arm so I could get an estimate of where the sleeve should be placed so it can look like one giant Dorito-shaped poncho. After that, I can make the outside part of Ogerpon's poncho on the torso part. And jumping back onto the head, I made her leaf branch thingy. What is this called? Her top spikes that definitely don't come off later, and her bottom spikes for her front of her hood. Now it's time to give our ogre girl a stir, and for this I use the waist of the Akedo warrior for my advantage. After this, I went towards the feet and legs again, grinding them down to be more cube-like in the back. Finally, I put some clay on the feet, and that was it for day one, and I have something to admit. When I started this project, I'd gotten a lot of progress done in the day I had. But after that day, I was unable to continue for the next week. I had a school vacation planned to Universal, and that would be my entire next week. I had an amazing time, and I would never have sacrificed it for anything, but it did mean that I would be working a little longer on this than I expected. Okay, a lot longer. I got this awesome Duff Beer plush and Fire Axolotl plush from the Harry Potter series, and I mustered the courage to ride Hagrid's motorcycle that I did not know would go backwards or super fast, by the way. Overall, I loved the trip, but after I got home, I had to get to work. The first thing I decided to do when I got back was grind down the cudgel because it was looking too large for what I had planned. I grinded down the spikes because I was planning on replacing them anyway, and after spiking the cudgel, I moved on to what everyone's been waiting for. How am I gonna get these magnets to stay on Ogerpon's head? I simply just drilled a hole into Ogerpon's head with my hand drill. Then I simply put a layer of clay over it after I put a magnet in it, and then boom, I could magnetize anything metal to it. I'm not going to show the progress for these masks because it was simple as magnet, clay, shape, and paint, but they will all get shown at the end. I'm sure you will love the mask that I customly made. Now it's on the painting, and unlike Girlfriend, I got footage of it this time. Starting off simple, I painted the legs and feet. Black is a very prominent color in Ogerpon's design, so I used it a lot, including her horns and for some of the markings, which will get covered up by green later. Next was the ivy cudgel, which I painted a nice base green and put some black lines on. The patterning for Ogerpon's poncho was really simple and I really liked it. At least the design on the back as well as some little fabric bits on the front would be easy enough to paint. But first the buttons and star on Ogerpon's chest. Finally, after painting the face and mask, I painted the base to look like a friend ball because Ogerpon is friend shaped. Also the colors fit, but yeah. But now let's see the result. Ogerpon is definitely a fan favorite legendary form when I first got Scarlet, and I hope this figure helped her become your favorite too. But with that, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Bye-bye!